We just got some really exciting, amazing news when it comes to the Marvel Studios Daredevil Born Again Disney Plus series, because it was just officially confirmed that Jon Bernthal is set to reprise his role as Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, in this series, which obviously that on its own is awesome. That is really, really exciting, but of course, as most things, you get this really good news and we get this really major bit of excitingness for this show, but at what cost? Because with this major return, we also have a major loss as well. As it's being reported in this same article that says Jon Bernthal is back, it's also being said that Eldon Henson and Deborah Ann Woll are not expected to return as Foggy Nelson and Karen Page, which, man, this sucks. Because, I mean, it's still confusing whether or not the Netflix series is canon. I still think it's in a soft reboot mode where, stuff that it's the same characters, but like some of the stuff that happened in that show maybe didn't happen. But still, like, you would have thought that the core of that show would continue in this reboot / sequel series. And part of that core that we all assumed would be still returning and as a part of this Daredevil Born Again would be this Foggy Nelson and this Karen Page. Which it's going to be really sad if they're not there, because I mean, these two characters are so integral. They are so important to Matt Murdock's life. I mean, the way that Daredevil Season 3 ended, we got Nelson, Murdock, and Page. And it was just such a beautiful ending for these characters, this friendship, this relationship. I really loved it. I love these three together. And I would love to see them to continue together, continue to flourish in their lives. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Now, it is kind of iffy on whether this is happening or not, because the reason we know Jon Bernthal is back is because he was on the cast roll call for Daredevil Born Again. So that's basically, it's kind of like if you're in school, it would be like the attendance sheet of like all actors that are supposed to be there, because I'm not sure if they're starting right now, but like very soon they're going to start filming Daredevil Born Again, and Jon Bernthal is on that roll call list alongside, of course, Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, and all those other actors that are going to be a part of this. But both Eldon Henson and Deborah Ann Woll are nowhere to be seen on this roll call. So that is what is leading most people to believe that they will not be a part of Daredevil Born Again. But as is mentioned in this tweet right here, I don't think Charlie would be okay with the decision to not bring Foggy and Karen back. And, Kevin Feige isn't an idiot. So he knows people love Daredevil, and he knows why people love Daredevil. I might just be in denial, but I don't believe this will end up being the case next year. Because if you think about it from the other side, just because they're not on the roll call right now really doesn't mean a whole lot, because this is an 18-episode season. It's a 9-month shoot for Daredevil Born Again Season 1. So it could be just that they're not needed right now. Maybe they're just going to be like, the fact that Jon Bernthal's Punisher is needed right at the beginning, I doubt Punisher is going to be right at the beginning of the series, but maybe this means they're going to be starting off with more of the action-based stuff. So these two characters would not really be needed for that. So it is very possible that they are still going to be in the show. It just won't be until later on in filming. But at least as of right now, the chances are not very high that Eldon Henson and Deborah Ann Woll will return as Foggy Nelson and Karen Page respectively in Marvel Studios Daredevil Born Again. And that doesn't give us the answer of, are the characters not going to be there at all, or the characters going to be there, they're just going to be recast and these actors are not returning. We don't know. I definitely really hope they come back, but we'll have to wait and see. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please drop a if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.